sect.
Right.
The Soto sect is really divided into two groupings.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because it's really Soto and Eihiji.
Mm-hmm.
If, yeah.
We're not going back that far.
So you're going back to this, like the styles
To
between...
your personal experience of receiving Dharma and beginning your study, or if that was backwards.
Yeah, but that's not my stream, right?
Right.
Okay, so, I'm trying to
Now,
correlate it to
I was wondering, because you had said this thing about Maizumi Roshi wanted to at one point be part of San Francisco, or
It's Suzuki Roshi.
Suzuki Roshi's lineage, because Suzuki Roshi
Not
is his
the
elder.
lineage.
Oh,
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
There's lineages. They
Right.
they all belong to the Soto sect.
right.
The Soto sect is really divided into two groupings: Eihiji
Okay.
group and the Soji group.
Okay.
There are actually three power structures in Japan.
All right.
The Soto sect itself, which has a headquarters,
Yeah.
and then Eihiji and Soji. They're all equal in strength and money.
Okay.
They're different power structures.
Uh-huh.
So Suzuki comes out of the Eihiji
Yeah.
one, and Maizumi out of the Soji
Oh,
one.
okay.
But Maizumi Roshi is a Soto priest, and he trained in a lay group in Japan, so he has a lay background to him, and he trained in koan study, which Suzuki Roshi didn't do, and he. So in his teachings, we were very heavy on koan study, and in the beginning years, not so heavy on form and ritual. I started full-time studying with Maizumi Roshi in 1966 or 65, and he didn't introduce the ritual, the forms of Soto sect until 1973. Suzuki Roshi, on the other hand, brought all of the forms and the rituals was their way of study. Where they were both the same, of course, the common denominator was meditation, Zazen, Zen meditation. They were both very strong on that. So that would be a big difference in the streams, the importance of form and ritual within the Suzuki line, and the importance in koan study and awakening in the Maizumi line. They're also quite a different age. So another big difference is that in the Maizumi line, for me, this is a huge difference, but it's institutional and maybe not as interesting. But in the Maizumi line, each of his Dharma successors, went out and did their own thing, started their own centers. The Suzuki teachers were all one family. So if you look at the Dharma successors within the Suzuki line, there's a lot more similarity among those teachers. Because it was all one family with one kind of system. In Maizumi line, we were all quite different. And he encouraged many of us to create our own forms and our own ways. That was not something that was done under the Suzuki line. So, for example, I empowered people that were not priests, lay people, to be teachers. And for me, they were full teachers. That didn't happen in the Suzuki line until the last few years. And the lay teachers aren't really teachers. They can't have Dharma successors. They can't give private doksan. Then they're a form, but they're not teachers. In the Maizumi line, when I was the first one to empower lay teachers, and now others have done that. For me, the important thing was the awakening, not the forms and the rituals. Although I know the forms and rituals well. So Maizumi did not teach us the forms and rituals himself. He brought people from Japan to teach us. And then we learned, and then we taught other people. I don't know.
And what do you think about two streams here today?
How might two streams inform something new, or any thoughts on?
Oh,
Yeah, well,
what? We have 5 minutes.
It's on one hand, all of the West, especially much more the United States than Europe, I would say, is a big mixing bowl. So we were mixing streams right from the beginning. It's hard to find a Zen teacher or a Buddhist teacher of my age that hasn't trained in different traditions. Almost all of the founding insight meditation teachers have studied Zen and Dzogchen in the Tibetan world. We've all done a lot of stuff, but that's common here. The streams staying apart is more an Asian notion. There, everything stayed apart. So, although the two of you represent two streams and you're coming together, already Anraku's all mixed up with many streams, and I don't know about Shinryu.
You mean Rumon?
Ryoman.
Yeah.
I don't know how many streams she is, but she's got to be. I mean, she studied with Pema. She's you know, so that's very common in this country. I mean, you take a guy like Ramdas, a good friend. Ramdas, his teacher was Nimkola Baba, a bhakti yogi kind of guy, but he trained in Zen. He trained in Judaism. He trained in Tibetan Dzogchen. I mean, so it's happening here, and that's sort of natural. Anraku comes, her teacher is a sort of a maintainer of a Soto way, more than many others of my Dhamma successors. And Ryoman comes basically from San Francisco, which is also maintaining its form pretty regularly. So although the undercurrent is that you guys are all mixed up anyway, it will be interesting to see what happens as the two of you mix your streams. But I'd be surprised if in the future the mixing goes way beyond the Zen, and we see much more of a interweaving between Tibetan and insight and Zen. That's that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.